In this episode of In the City, I will be walking around Stow, just a few minutes walk from Lichfield Cathedral, having a look at the buildings surrounding it and also briefly the life of Francis Barber, who once lived on Stow Street. On the football side of things, I'll be talking to Lichfield City captain Carl Patterson and also cup final hero Joe Haynes. I'm here with Lichfield City captain Carl Patterson, and Kyle, you've been here a few years now.
Yeah, been a while now.
Yeah, I mean, take me back right to the beginning of your Lichfield City career. How did you come to the club?
It was a strange one really, because I'd kind of stopped playing football at this level a few years previous, and I was just playing Sundays, and there was a lad who had a connection with Jamie.
Jay Hawkins.
Jay Hawkins. He's going to kill me. And he knew Jay Hawkins, and he told him about him. And Jay just said, "Come down pre-season, have a look." And I put it off for a while, to be honest, a few weeks, and I just thought I can't really bother to go back to the Saturdays. I was quite happy just having a Sunday morning stroll, and I was probably touching on 32 then. But I ended up coming down, got lost the first time I came down here. Ended up in the estate over there. Came and had a session, and I just enjoyed it. And I think at the time, I think Danny T was here and Shep, and a good bunch of lads. Righty, Jenko was here. Obviously Luke Charles was here as well, and it was step 6. So we had we played some Leicester Road in the league and Addiston and Brockton, and we had a decent team, and I just enjoyed it. And from there, I've just kind of tried to keep going as long as I can, really.
Yeah, I mean, you've done the rounds. I mean, I went on your Wikipedia page, to be honest, and looked down the list of clubs, and you've never seemed to stop anywhere longer than a season.
No.
So, what is it about Lichfield City?
I mean, the proximity was good, I think I got to a stage with football where it was a career, but it wasn't a stable career. It wasn't reliable. It was year-to-year contracts, and that's why I think when I was at, like I said, Tamworth and Worcester, it was all I had really, and I just kept chasing the next move, and it got to a point where it did become a bit of a job, and I never really found a home. And once I kind of started my career, football became more of a hobby, more of just somewhere where I enjoyed to be, instead of somewhere where I had to maybe prove myself and earn a living from, really. And that's probably why I've stayed here for so long, and that's why I've probably settled so well, because it isn't the be all and end all for me now. I mean, you ask anyone when that whistle goes on a Saturday, of course I want to win, but I also know that there's more priorities in life, and I can hand on my heart say I've enjoyed my football more here probably in the last 4 or 5 years than I have anywhere else, to be honest.
Yeah, and obviously starting here at step 6 and now moving up to step 5. I mean that must be enjoyable as well. The promotion, obviously winning the cup final. I mean, how did that feel?
Yeah, it was really a proud moment, and I mean, people can look at it and say, "Oh, it's only step 6, step 5. You won the JW1 Cup," but the lads have put a lot of hard work in, and people behind the scenes have put a lot of hard work in, and it is massive for us and a massive achievement for us. And like you say, the promotion was great. Just the progression, just overall in the whole club. I mean, when I first came here, that away changing room was our home changing room, and it was a squeeze. And now you look at it, and it's a very modern change room, very open. The things that are doing in the club. The fans, the supporters we've got a little ultras following now, a bunch of kids who are coming with their drums, and if you would have told me that 5 years ago, I would have been, I thought we were way off.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be part of something from the start, and I'm really excited for what's to come.
Yeah, I mean we're sitting in one of the new stands now, and at that far end, there's a little shelter up there as well.
Yeah.
So I mean from your time here, I mean, the improvements around the ground have been huge, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they've been massive. They've been massive, and they've got your own little stand over there for you books as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
they're always developing, and they always are looking for the next thing. And I think that definitely aligns with what I want to do. You know, like I said, it is a hobby, but I also do want to be involved in something that is moving forward, and looking for the next step. And that's what I try and do each season. That's why I try and encourage with the lads and the management team do the same. And it is those, every season you have to try and improve, whether it's, and it has to be everyone involved in the club. So yeah, I think everyone's moving in the right direction at the moment.
Yeah, and there's a really nice blend of youth and experience here. I mean, the likes of Dom Lewis have come in, and you have to forgive me, Josh, but I'm not sure of your surname, but young Josh as well from the academy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the sort of you can help these lads progress.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's exciting because that's the next stage, isn't it? When you get to a certain age, you want to be able to pass on what you've learned, and it's just nice to have lads who want to listen as well. Young lads nowadays do get a little bit of flack on their attitude, but those two lads who have come in and the other young lads who have come in have been spot on from day one. And I just think it speaks volumes that the lads have been together just as a group as well. We've got some lads here. I mean, me and Luke have been here the longest, but we've got lads here who've been here 3-4 seasons as well, and that doesn't very rarely happens at this level. You can go around a lot of the teams, and there's a lot of changes each season. But there's a core group here of maybe 8-9 players who've been here, gone through the promotion at step 6 and stayed and gone through each stage. So yeah, it's a good place for the young kids to come and develop because of that as well.
Kyle, thank you very much, and all the best for next season.
Yeah, nice one, Brooksy.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Stowe Pool was turned into a reservoir in 1856 by the South Staffordshire Waterworks Company. Before 1856, Stowe Pool existed as a mill pond, with Stowe Mill located just to the west of St Chad's Church. Since 1968, the reservoir has not been used for supply and now is a public amenity used for recreational purposes. Stowe Pool is a designated Site of Special Scientific Interest, as it's home to the native white-clawed crayfish. Stowe House is a large 18th century Grade II star listed house standing prominently on a hill at the east end of Stowe Pool. It was built around 1750 for Elizabeth Aston. A century later, in 1850, it was the home of the Lichfield banker and South Staffordshire Railway director Richard Green. After wartime, it was a school, then post-war as a nurse home, and a brief period as a conference centre. The house was sold in 1968 to become a management training centre. In December 2019, it was converted into 4 self-contained office suites. To the north of Stowe Pool on St Chad's Road is the Church of St Chad. This is a parish church and is a Grade II star listed building. The current building dates back to the 12th century, although extensive restorations and additions have been made in the century since. Crook House is a restored Grade II star timber-framed medieval cottage at 71 Stowe Street and close to the south side of Stowe Pool. Crook House is an impressive site on Stowe Street in the midst of modern residential and commercial buildings. Yet despite first impressions, this is surprisingly a small building. This jointed crook and part box framed house fell into disrepair before it was rescued from demolition in 1971. It was discovered during the redevelopment of Stowe Street and was restored to its original state. In the mid-1950s, many of the old buildings in Stowe Street were pulled down. During the demolition work, the Crook House was revealed within the outer cladding of a building whose outer walls had obscured the framework supporting it. Whoever spotted the house during the demolition process and called a halt had saved a rare building dating back to the late 14th or early 15th century. Crook House is now a day care centre and is used by a variety of community groups. A blue plaque has been installed at Crook House celebrating the life of Francis Barber, a close friend of Dr. Samuel Johnson. Barber was enslaved in Jamaica from birth and arrived in England in 1752, aged 10, before being granted his freedom 2 years later. He lived in London as the servant, friend and ultimately heir to Dr. Johnson. Francis moved to Lichfield in 1786, living in the city until the mid-1790s, when he relocated to Burntwood and became one of Britain's first black schoolmasters. Crook House was chosen as the site for the plaque, given it is one of the only surviving buildings from the time when Francis lived on Stowe Street. I'm here with Lichfield City legend Joe Haynes, and he's a player with the most Lichfield appearances. Got a cup final winning goal.
I haven't told you about that goal, have I yet?
No, runs training for the Saturday soccer school. He's now the ladies' assistant manager. He's Liam's Heath's favourite player of all time. He's good looking, great outgoing personality. When you walk through that dressing room door, Joe, how do you deal with the jealousy on a week-to-week basis?
I don't, mate. Just tell myself what I think, which is tell myself I'm good most weeks, and I'm best looking in the dressing room. Don't go down well with the lads, but you know, if you tell yourself you're good, it don't matter, does it, mate? It only matters your opinion.
So you 183 appearances, 15 goals, mate, and where did your Lichfield City journey start?
Strangely, actually, it was someone brought me down. I hadn't played for Lichfield. I wasn't even playing, mate. I think I was playing Sunday League at the time. And one of the youth team players actually asked me to come, and I said no. And they somehow dragged me to play. I played half a game, actually left midfield. You can't imagine it, can you? I think they were desperate for numbers at the time, mate. And I played, and they, you know, he said, "Do you want to sign?" I said, "Not really." And he said, "It's free." So I said, "Okay, can't beat the free then." And that was it, mate. And ended up playing a few games, and we had a few injuries, and a few of the lads knew me from when I was a kid and said, "Oh, we can play centre half." I was dreading it. I was like, "No, please don't tell him." And he told Liam. I played really well within a few weeks. I was in the first team, and yeah, the rest is history then, mate. Played about a season and a half, and then obviously moved on and come back a few times, but obviously.
Was it the season with Birchie when he was manager?
Yes,
was he?
mate,
Yeah.
So
was that your first
brought
season?
me in,
Yeah.
Sort of midway through his first season, well, just as he took over, I think. And then obviously I played the next season with him. We had an okay season. I think finished 8th, got to a few cup finals, and then obviously Birchie left for whatever reason. And then I sort of moved on from there because obviously the team had changed, the manager had changed. Didn't really know too much, and then in between I've played a few bits and bobs, and obviously been here now coming up to third season, so the place has changed a lot from when I first.
Yeah, I mean it was a grass pitch, but with quite a bit of a slope. I mean the facilities in your time, mate, have changed massively. I mean what Darren and Liam have done to this football ground is just incredible, isn't it?
Unbelievable, mate. You think now, like, you know, it's probably one of the best, if not the best, you know, ground in the league at the moment, with all the stands and clubhouse that's done with the clubhouse, the pitch itself. Like, as silly as the railing, it was wood when we were. You'd run through it and just, you know, metal. It was just, it was all falling down. Basically, the whole place was. So to what it is now, you know, don't see only certain people see what they've actually done to this club. Been brilliant. And like I said, what a place to play at now. You can't grumble as a player.
Yeah, I mean you look around and everyone's laughing, everyone's enjoying it, and there's some great characters at this football club now.
There you go, Richard.
There you go. There's a backer there.
It's because he's only jealous. He's not on the camera.
Yeah.
You said only the good-looking ones or something. He ain't gonna be on the camera, is he? That may be lasting now, mate.
Oh, and of course you run the soccer school here on a Saturday morning. I mean,
so there, that just come about. Obviously, they were looking to, you know, progress, you know, the club, and obviously keep, you know, building from what they're doing. So obviously they've asked me to run the soccer school. That's obviously going from strength to strength. It's been about 2 months now. Numbers have doubled, and yeah, I really enjoy it, mate. You know, it's nice to get to know some of the youth team players, and obviously. Build a rapport with them, and some of them come down to watch the games now, so you know all it does is increase our crowd and you know build the bridge between the youth team and the first team, which I think, you know, we should look at Louis Burnside, Josh that's just signed now. it's about building for this club. You know, it's a family-run club from Liam and Daz.
Yeah.
All the way down, so it's about, you know.
Yeah, I think Ivor was saying when I interviewed him, there's 33 junior sides throughout the club, and that's important when you've got a manager like Ivor who's prepared to give youth a chance. So there's something for these youngsters to aim at.
100%, and they need an idol to look up to within reason. You know, they need. It's all right, you know, saying Louis Burnside, but if they know him personally, or you know, he goes and runs a session for them, or you know, they can be introduced to us and whatnot. Obviously, even better because on a personal, they'll know him as a person rather than just, you know, Louis Burnside at Lichfield City, which I think is massive at this club. You know, it's kids at young age want to, you know, have a role model. And what better way to play for Lichfield City and know a few of the players and you know, look up to them. So it's about building from there. Like I said, probably not the best role model on the pitch. You know, some of the language that comes out, but try to be off it. So
yeah. And I mean, I found out this evening as well that you've taken on the assistant manager at Lichfield City Ladies Reserves.
What I'm trying to do, mate, is trying to get them to build me a house somewhere around here. I don't think my missus likes me at the moment, but other than that, you know, it's great. Yeah, coming out, you know, they've lost a few people. They came down and ran a session last week. Really surprised me, the standard actually, mate, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. The girls are great, you know, they want to learn. I coached years ago in America, a few girls teams, and loved it. You know, it's massive out there. And
yeah.
If I could, you know, help to grow it over here a little bit, then you know that's the aim. And Joe's amazing at what she does. You know, put so much time and effort into it. You know, once helping the girls, and you know they're looking for someone. I feel like I can only just give my time back to them. You know, to help them and again grow the girls' game because it's getting bigger now.
Yeah.
Know,
it's fantastic,
and I really
mate.
enjoy, you know, coaching them. It's a different sort of game almost with the girls, and I think you know, let's try and push that sector now at the club because we've only, I think, got 7 teams at the moment. Why can't we have as many teams as we have?
Yeah, I think what I've found, I mean, the standard has improved massively. I've been watching tier sort of 5 and 6 for quite a few years now, and it's grown. And for me, the reserves is probably the most important a team at the club, really, the ladies reserves, because we've got a lot of girls teams, and as they come up to 16 years of age, that's a perfect opportunity for these girls to gain experience in you know, in sort of ladies football.
Yeah, like you said though, it's a big jump. You know, like you said, it's men's, like even men's. You know, from boys to men, girls to ladies. It's a big jump. So you need that. I mean, I wish they'd done it for the men. I know it's under 21s now, not really a reserve league as such, but
yeah,
it was massive. I mean, I only played a few games, but what it does for you, you know, you're playing against men or ladies, whoever. It's a different game. You know, there's a lot more wiser players out there. Physicality is a big difference. So it's about being that, you know, first and foremost, being able to adapt. So, like you said, the girls, I mean, we came down yesterday, trained together, so it's great. You know, the girls, on a personal note, know each other. So, just about now progressing that and keep building, helping Joe and everyone outside the scenes, you know, building the girls sector now. And like I said, I'll try my hardest to help that. So yeah.
So before we go, mate, I've got to ask you.
Go on. I know it's coming. Go on.
What was it like scoring that goal, that winning goal at Molineux? I mean, you obviously didn't know it was going to be the winning goal at the time, but when that final whistle came, mate, how did that feel?
Well, if you ask the lads, they were all heartbroken in the dressing rooms. You know, they didn't want me to score out of anyone. You know, they haven't heard the last of it now. We're 6 months past it, and I still tell them about it now. I think I've renamed the cup the Joe Haynes Cup now rather than Joe Hunt Cup. But they're not having none of it. I've tried to ring the people that run it, they're having none of it either. So, yeah, no, great for the club, you know, like I said, coming through, sort of on and off now for 10 years. Brilliant. And yeah, long may it continue. Hopefully this season we go and win some more. Be nice to win the league, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and you know, for Ivor as well. And Ivor was desperate to win it for Darren and Liam, and I caught them hugging, you know, on the night, and absolutely terrific for them guys.
It was amazing.
Put so much work into this football club.
That's it, mate. Great night. And like I said, you know, we play football for them nights, for, you know, for the players, people behind the scenes, everyone, you know, it's a together club here. So it's about keeping that and building on that now. So,
Joe, thank you very much, mate.
Pleasure as always, Brooksy.